Good evening, people. If you're wondering how Eddie gets down with meditating, how I get in tune with the universe, how I vibe with it, well, it's probably not the way you're thinking, it's not a fundamental practice. I don't like to do things fundamentally. I like to do things from my own truth. So in terms of meditation, as I said before, you will find me meditating when you don't even realize, when we're chatting, when we're doing whatever, because for me, it's a whole different level now when it comes to tuning yourself in. You can do it at any given time on a conscious or subconscious level. And with me, when I'm struggling to, get my psyche focused and focusing and tuning into the universe, what I tend to do is to listen to old school music. When I say old school, I mean music that you really resonated with when you were younger. The music that made you bounce about 9-10 years ago. That's the sort of music you want to be listening to. And you want to have your eyes closed while you're listening to it. Start bouncing your head, and before you know it, you'll be meditating. People always wonder, what is meditating? How do you know when you're meditating? I'll tell you what. Let me give you a little secret. You're meditating, or you are aware you're meditating, as in going into another dimension, when you cannot remember the second before. As soon as you're in that relaxed state, when you cannot remember what you were thinking about a second before, what you're thinking about now, that's when you know you're meditating. So for all of you out there who thought that you have to do all these complex practices, crossing your legs, crossing your fingers and all this rubbish, you can do whatever you want to do that gets you in tune. The key thing here is getting you in tune. How do you go about that? Do you dance? Do you run? Do you play football, basketball? Do you sing? However you get in tune with the universe to that point where you cannot remember a second before, that's what you want to get to. A lot of people will make the matters of the spirit dogma, and they'll start saying you have to sit down in a certain pose, you have to face a certain direction, you have to put your legs and your arms like this and that. That's all distractions where you find the devil. But if you're somebody who is consciously trying to tune in with yourself, your higher self, and all the other selves and elements, all you need to do is do anything that makes you ebullient in the moment, that euphoric feeling. Whatever it is, no matter what anyone says about it, who cares about the judgment? Whatever it is that gets you in that moment when you cannot remember 1 second before, when you cannot remember what you were thinking about a second before because you're so much in the present, that is your meditation. And if you ask me, every person's meditation is unique, because we are all unique as beings. And how we tap into our present moment, how we tap into our euphoric sphere is unique. But a lot of people will not tell you that. They'll make the matters of the spirit dogma. So they'll tell you have to sit like this, you have to face this direction, you have to breathe like this and that. But if you ask me, all you need to do is do whatever you need to do to get into that present moment when you cannot remember 1 second before. So think about that consciously. What is it that you do that really gives you that peace and joy and happiness? That peace and joy and happiness where you could not care whether or not it makes you money. Just doing it alone is enough energy to keep you going. What is that thing? Everybody has that thing. Some of us know what it is, some of us don't. But we can all get to know. So find out what it is. That's my advice for anybody struggling to meditate. Me personally, I tend to just listen to some tunes that used to get me moving back in the day. Just close my eyes and picture myself back in that moment when I was 16 years old. When I was going out partying and having fun, thinking I'm an adult at the time. That's the moments you want to get into when you're struggling to meditate. And before you know it, you'll be focusing and meditating. And you'll be zen. Peace.